What's good, y'all? Y'all welcome to Real in the Field. Come on in here, hit that like button. Make sure that's the first thing we do, man. Y'all come in my house, make sure you hit that like button, man. That's like ringing the doorbell. Don't just walk up in here. Hit the like button for your boy. Jump in the comment section. Speak. Holla at me. Don't walk up my house and don't speak. Feel what I'm saying? Just make sure we show love, man. Make sure y'all subscribe if you haven't. Appreciate you if you have, man. But sub up, share the content, share the channel. I'm coming. I'm out here. I'm coming. Share the content, man. There's no game. There's no gimmick. It's real in the field. I'm over here to pop my Panther shit. And tonight we talking about Brandt Tilis and Bryce Young. Right on time. Right on time, man. So let's get into it. I'm sure by now y'all already heard the Brandt Tilis interview at the combine. Right? We all heard it, but I got to come in here and give my thoughts on it, man, because we've been debating about this the past couple of days. You know, me and some guys. Me and a few guys. We've been talking about this, and the question was asked. It's so many words. Is Bryce Young on that hot seat? Is he on the hot seat? My answer to that was the seat is not hot. I don't think it's hot, but I think the shit is warm. And in my eyes, it's a good thing. I say it's warm because there was a point where it was hot. And I would say it was hot, the point where year 2 where he got benched and he came back, the pressure was on, the heat was on. If he didn't come back and perform well, that could have been it for him. So that was the point. That was his hot seat. That was his moment in the hot seat. And he's been a better player, better quarterback since the benching. I will say that he's been a better quarterback since the benching. He has gotten better, which is why the seat is no longer hot. It's warm. It's cooled off. But like I said, shit ain't cool. It's definitely not a cool seat. Like he can't just chill. There's still work to be done. And I don't think it's hate when I say that. So it was it was refreshing to hear Brandt Tilis up here today, man. I love this dude. He is Brandt Tilis, man. He is a gangster. He's a gangster, man. He's we need this guy in the building. Like we are fortunate to have Brandt Tilis. And I'm not saying that because what he said about Bryce wasn't nice. I'm not celebrating that. But I'm gonna just get into what to what I thought about the video, man. The guy asked him, and I didn't expect. I turned the interview on. I did not expect him to get asked, that question. And he answered it honestly. So I got to speak on it honestly. Like I've been doing. My bad, trying to get my little situation right. Get my little situation right, man. This could be a long one. I plan on it being a short one. So they asked Brandt Tilis about Bryce Young's 5th-year extension, and how that works in terms of, him getting that long-term extension. How does that work in terms of him getting it now or later? Like, what's the idea behind that? And Tilis said, he said, we haven't even had those conversations with Bryce and his agent yet. Almost fell out my seat. Almost fell out my seat, man. Because I was assured that, regardless of what us, quote unquote, Bryce Young, or us Bryce Young haters say, that the Panthers organization, they was locked in with Bryce Young. And the contract, the long-term extension conversations was in the works. And that we were just hating. But Tillis just told us, unless he lying, which is possible. But I'm gonna take him at his word. Because what he's saying make a lot of sense. But he just told us out his mouth, he has not had those conversations with Bryce Young and his agent yet. And we're approaching year 4. And he just had his best season. And y'all say he led us to the playoffs. He took us to the playoffs is what y'all say. But they haven't even had conversations about a long-term extension. Your franchise quarterback, your number 1 pick, who you invested so much in to go get. So the first thing I ask myself is, why is that? Why haven't there been a conversation about it? At least like, hey, Tillis, Morgan, what's up? Like, what's up with my extension? And they can say, hey, Bryce, you've gotten better. You had a good year, but we want to see more. Like, not even that conversation. Like, that's not like some of you guys, you Bryce supporters, like, how y'all explain that? Y'all jump in the comment section. Y'all holler at me, let me know, like, because I'm not a Bryce hater. I'm trying to understand this shit and make sense of it. Because what you niggas is telling me and what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing Tillis say, it ain't adding up. So no conversations with Bryce or the agent about the extension yet. Right? That was number 1. That was the first question that got asked. Then he says, and this is one thing that I was that I keyed in on a lot, with some of you guys, man. Like, I tried to tell you that they're still evaluating Bryce Young. And that's exactly what Tillis said. He said there's a lot of evaluation that goes into extending the player. It's not just looking at his red zone. It's not just looking at his deep ball accuracy. It's not just looking at a 448-yard game. It's not just looking at game-winning drives. It's not just looking at a no-look pass. The first thing he mentioned was performance. Performance. Another thing I try to talk to y'all niggas about. Performance. His performance. Him. When you extend a player, you evaluating him. And as you evaluate him, you see the things that's his fault, the things that's not his fault. You evaluate it. You add up the good and the bad. You weigh out the pros and the cons, the strengths and the weaknesses. So for you Bryce niggas, like I'm asking y'all this question. What is it that they're still evaluating when it comes to Bryce Young and his individual performance? Because they're smart guys. Like they're smart guys. They're looking at the team. So anything that y'all can name, any holes, around the team, any weaknesses, anything that caused Bryce Young to struggle in any way, I guarantee you that has been factored in to their evaluation process thus far. They're not just looking at it one-sided, saying everything Bryce's fault. They're not looking at it and saying that everything is on everybody else. They evaluate each player, like he went on to say. He said, forget Bryce for a second. Any player you're looking to extend, you are evaluating their performance. And then here was the biggest thing. He says, we also have to look at alternatives. And this is a big question that you niggas run to whenever, we having these debates about Bryce Young and his future. Y'all quick to ask this question. Who else? Who else we gonna put in here? Who else is gonna be our quarterback? Who are we gonna find that's better than Bryce? Brandt Tilis said, any player. He said, forget Bryce Young, any player that you're looking to extend, you are looking into free agency and you are looking into this year's draft to see if there's a better option out there. He let us know Bryce Young is not exempt. Y'all explain that. These other young quarterbacks on these teams, I ain't even gonna name them. Some of these other young quarterbacks on these teams at these combine interviews, they ain't even getting asked a question like that, let alone answering them like that. If you're a Bryce Young fan, a Bryce Young supporter, and you've been riding with him this far, man, you should want to hear Tilis get up here on that mic and say, Bryce Young is our guy. Bryce Young is our future. He's the future of our franchise. He's the face of our franchise. Like real talk, if you're a Bryce Young fan, that's what you want to hear. He going into year 4. Why are we playing these games? Is he the guy or is he not? He led us to the playoffs. He's accomplished so much, you guys say. We try to critique him. We try to bring some of y'all down to earth, but it falls on deaf ears. It's falling on deaf ears. But in this little short interview, Tillis is letting you know that Bryce Young, you're still being evaluated, dog. You're still trying out for this franchise this franchise quarterback at the Carolina Panthers. You're still trying out for that job, sir. I think Bryce Young might understand that. Bryce Young might know that. But it's y'all Bryce Young supporters that gotta wake up and see that. Not everybody hating on the kid, man. Not me, myself, me personally. I want Bryce Young to win, man. I want him to succeed. Come on. But I gotta be real. What I see on the field, it's okay at times. But a lot of times it ain't good enough. The Carolina Panthers aren't sure if he's good enough. They need to see him get better. Like I've been saying, they need to see him be better. Him. They know about everything that's going on around him. But in the same interview, Tilis he raved about this team that they built, the foundation of this team that they built. So a lot of these excuses that you niggas make for Bryce, you really shitting on the team. And like I tried to tell you niggas the other day, when you do that, you're discrediting guys like Tillis, Dan Morgan, Dave Canales, down to Ijiro Evero, the coaching staff, the O line coach, defensive back coach. You niggas have been discrediting the Panthers, the organization, to defend Bryce Young. And Grant Tilis and these guys, from what I'm seeing, from what I'm reading, the way they talking, they ain't going for it. They not going for it. They didn't draft this guy. They're not going to sync with him. I don't think that's about to go down here. Bryce Young, sir, you got to go out there and show your ass next season. Straight up, you got to go out there and show your ass, man. You can't go out there and barely get by winning shit that you've been doing. All those game winning drives and shit that everybody brags about, and like to throw in our faces whenever we're just giving him a fair criticism, like we should evaluate him as we should, like the team is doing. Whenever y'all bring up shit like that, all those game winning drives, that's barely get by winning, barely squeaking by. Game winning drive, cool. We close the game, cool. But what about the rest of the game? How do we get in those situations to be behind? Where's the great QB played in? Where's it at then? Where was the 448 against Seattle? Where was it any other game he struggled? Where was the deep ball accuracy against any other game that he barely threw the ball down the field and wouldn't be aggressive and checked it down all game? Where was the deep ball accuracy then? Where was it then? All those gaps in between the good shit. Like we never try to take away from the good things that he do. I don't. You did that. Cool. Because it was a point in time he wasn't doing shit good. Rookie year, going to that second year, he wasn't really doing too much of nothing good. It was really not a whole lot to really brag about. He got a few things under his belt now. Cool. But guys like Tillis in the building, Morgan in the building, Canales, they looking at this shit like through the right lens as they should. And they're looking in between the spaces where y'all don't want to pay attention to, in between the 448s and the game-winning drives and the deep ball, the accurate deep balls, the very few that he hit on. In between all that, they're evaluating that shit. They figuring out what's going on. And they know good and damn well. They see that it's not everybody else's fault that Bryce Young has had his struggles. As I'm gonna continue to say, they're evaluating him and they see his flaws and his holes. They looking at his work habits, his study habits, everything. How he connecting with his teammates. Everything. As he should. So this ain't no celebratory. This ain't nothing to celebrate right here. The only thing I'm celebrating is the fact that our team is evaluating a player as they should. They are moving carefully, as they should. Until it spoke on the foundation that they've built here. And you niggas keep asking, well, who else are we going to go get if it ain't Bryce? Even though me, myself, I never said I wanted Bryce out of here. Never said that. But y'all keep asking that question. But if you was to ask Tilis that, he would talk to you about that foundation that he spoke on, about what they've built around Bryce. And he would tell you, I think we can find a guy in this draft with the right intangibles who fits the style of play. He will tell you there's a guy in free agency out there who we could put behind, or a young quarterback out of this draft that we can put behind this solid offensive line group that we have. Bryce Young only got sacked. He got sacked less than 30 times this season. Most quarterbacks would love that. Most quarterbacks, would think they could go out there and have a field day every game if they had that. So when y'all defend Bryce Young, you can't shit on the rest of the team and act like we haven't built anything around him, because we got to the playoffs somehow. How the hell did we get to the playoffs? Because say what you want to say about Bryce Young, it damn sure wasn't because of him in that passing game. It was like the worst aspect of our team, outside of maybe the pass rush, I think. So how did we really get to the playoffs, guys? We gotta start keeping it real, man. It ain't about hating on no player. It ain't about loving a player. Like, fuck all that, man. About this right here. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, man, I want the best for Bryce, man. I hope he go out there and ball next season. That's it, man. Like, we can talk all the shit we want. Y'all can hype him up. Niggas can hate on him, say whatever. But the game gonna speak for itself, man. And it's gonna play out on the field. But I think the Panthers are doing everything they can to help Bryce be successful. Regardless of what y'all say, I think the Panthers are doing everything they can to help this dude. The excuses is running out. It's put up or it's shut the fuck up. If he wants to be the quarterback of this franchise going forward, you got to step the fuck up, sir. But I'm not going to act like he didn't show signs, to close the season out. So I'm riding off that energy, and that's the Bryce I expect to see step into the next season. If not, we're gonna see what happens, dog. But I want to talk about the draft because I think we are gonna do something in the draft that's gonna surprise everybody. So we'll talk about that on a different one, man. But that's all I got on it, man. Y'all jump in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think, whether you agree or disagree. Either way, but make sure y'all hit that like button. Sub up if you haven't. Catch y'all on the next one. We gone.
Top so much better than the bottom. You know, blue flying touche. I can't lie, dog. This shit feel good. We don't be on that shit we used to be on. Moved on, we on. I'm talking so far gone tonight. Way too gone tonight. Where to the upper echelon? Ain't about to rob nobody, or shoot up no parties, about to kill nobody. But young nigga, each his own. Doggy, fetch your bone. Yeah. No bullshit, young niggas got old money. New guns don't jam and fresh blood smell funny. I done Cali on edibles, nigga, my weed gummy. Seen my partner with $1 million in cash, but I ain't seen nothing. We up a couple plays, got my whole team stunting. We got the ball like your team punting. Too much weight on one side, got the beam jumping. I was moving mothballs and read up onions. When they was in them trap houses, I was short stopping. My brother murder case trial had the whole full rocking. I met my plug in the pen and we still locked in. Me still in a rob and that's like my fourth option. Rather be in that kitchen and get that pork popping. Champagne tops popping and the roofs dropping. Street walkers on zombie missions. My pimp intentions allow me to sell a dream of a paid tuition. I'm out with the kingpins, but I made it different. Only rap what I seen and get y'all ass the vision. We don't be on that shit we used to be on. Moved on, we on. I'm talking so far gone tonight. Way too gone tonight. Where to the upper echelon? Ain't about to rob nobody, or shoot up no parties, about to kill nobody. But young nigga, each his own. Doggy, fetch your bone. Automatic weapons by Smith & Wesson, I'm well protected. Duffel bag full of white faces that's beheaded. No doubt as to where I'm headed, I'm well connected. And one deal, my whole city, dope infested. Me and Tweezy and Lubbock, but we can't ball in public. With much success, our friends' hearts have turned corrupted. I stay close to the statement that money say we trust in. My social etiquette, gentlemen, no room for cussing. When you sitting at the table in the blood's discussion, we search for benefit, not consequence and repercussions. Cause the man will shed some light on his direction, he move us in. Put away the F-ins, let's talk investments. 1031 life exchange, keep your money protected. You can have what you netted, you can have what you gross. Fire your own tax injection, you ain't gotta do those. Hard work is my definition of doing the most. We don't be on that shit we used to be on. Moved on, we on. I'm talking so far gone tonight. Way too gone tonight. Where to the upper echelon? Ain't about to rob nobody, or shoot up no parties, about to kill nobody. But young nigga, each his own. Doggy, fetch your bone. Straight up blue flying. Try to hit big in this rap gang shit. Something like trying to hit 10 on your point in a crap game. Yeah. And nigga, every bullet got a name, I don't shoot for fame. But this my shot. Straight up. Feel way better looking down to the bottom. Being at the bottom, looking at the top. Nigga. And take my spot. Work hard for that. Everything I lost, nigga, I came back for that. Been there, done that, nigga, moved on. We on. All my niggas on. We on. We on. We on. Yeah. Got you, Q. Blue flame. We on.